Just what does it mean to come back here and be able to play or just as an opponent tonight?
Yeah, AZ was good to me, but I'm way happier where I'm at now. It was good to see people. It was fun to play in front of some fans. But for me, I'm way happier in Indiana.
That had to have been one of, if not the most embarrassing loss of the season for the Indiana Fever so far. We lost to the Atlanta Dream earlier in the season, 77-58. We lost to the Valkyrie earlier in the season, 80-61. And tonight, against the Phoenix Mercury, we lose 95-60.
A team isn't just defined by its wins and losses. Sometimes, its true character is revealed in the moments of utter collapse. For the Indiana Fever, a 95-60 blowout loss in Phoenix was more than just a defeat. It was a disaster that exposed a story of betrayal simmering just beneath the surface. The box score tells a tale of failure, but the real story, the one that's just been shockingly revealed, is about a former star who didn't just leave her team, she vanished without a trace, leaving a trail of disrespect in her wake. And now, one of her ex-teammates is finally speaking the truth.
Does this team practice? What I saw tonight looked like what I saw a month ago. Looked what I saw 3 weeks ago. Absolutely no offensive game plan. I thought this motion offense is when it's nobody's night in and night out. Everybody's allowed to have a night. If Kelsey Mitchell doesn't play well, it needs miraculous efforts from the rest of the team to pick this up. Sophie Cunningham played great tonight. Kelsey Mitchell had a bad game. Bad game. Where's everybody else?
The game itself was a complete nightmare from the opening tip. The Fever's offense looked like they couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat. Shooting a miserable 34.3% from the field, their passes were lazy, getting picked off with ease, and their defense was a step behind all night. The team committed an unbelievable 22 turnovers, which the Phoenix Mercury gratefully converted into 42 points on a silver platter. When you're giving up more points off your own mistakes than you're scoring from deep, you're not just having an off night, you're experiencing a total system meltdown that's painful to watch.
And Steph, obviously, Sid had that injury and Ari left, I think, in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
Just what's the status of
Well, it's Sid's left knee, Ari's right foot, and we'll get some more evaluation when we get home tomorrow and see where we are.
But the on-court humiliation was about to get so much worse. In the first quarter, the team watched in horror as guard Sydney Colson went down with a non-contact knee injury that immediately looked serious. Later in the game, Ari McDonald started limping with a foot issue. The news that followed was devastating. Both players were out for the remainder of the season, with Colson suffering a torn ACL and McDonald a broken bone in her foot. For a team already missing its superstar Caitlin Clark, losing two more key players in a single game felt like a cruel joke, transforming a disastrous loss into a full-blown roster crisis.
Sophie Cunningham making her return to Phoenix, and it seems as if nobody on our team other than Sophie Cunningham felt any type of emotional connection to this game. Tawana Bonner just got done doing your team absolutely dirty. You guys escape with a victory when they come to Indiana, and you wipe your hands of it like it's all over and finished with. No, it goes both ways. You don't think we want to beat her on her home court? You don't think we want to get a W for Sophie Cunningham, making her return to the team that she spent her whole entire career with up until this point?
Sobley, tough shot, wasn't square, and here comes Indiana. Cunningham, another three. Oh my goodness, Sophie Cunningham!
Through all the chaos and collapsing plays, one player refused to surrender. Sophie Cunningham, in her return to Phoenix, played with a fire that none of her teammates could match. She was the only bright spot in a sea of darkness, pouring in a season-high 18 points and draining 5 three-pointers, fighting as if the game depended on her alone. While the rest of the team looked defeated, Sophie was playing with a desperate energy, a solo warrior trying to hold back the tide. But her heroic effort wasn't just about the score, it was about pride, something that seemed to be in short supply for the Fever that night.
This game meant just as much to Sophie Cunningham as it did to the Indiana Fever when DeWanna Bonner made her return. The only difference is nobody on the Indiana Fever had Sophie Cunningham's back this time around. Sophie Cunningham was the only player trying hard. The only player giving effort, play in and play out. The only player getting into it with Alyssa Thomas, getting into it with DeWanna Bonner, getting into it with Kalia Copper, while everybody else just mailed it in. This game was embarrassing, folks.
On the other side of the court, a very different drama was unfolding, centered around former Fever player DeWanna Bonner. This wasn't just another game for her, it was a personal revenge tour. Bonner dropped a game-high 23 points, but it was her behavior that sent the loudest message. She was visibly amped up, getting into chippy exchanges and reportedly trash-talking her former teammates. At one point, after hitting a three-pointer over Lexi Hull, Bonner stared her down with an intensity that went far beyond friendly competition. She wasn't just playing to win. She was playing to humiliate, putting on a theatrical performance for the team she had controversially left behind.
Can you see that? DeWanna Bonner hit her first three-point shot in about 6 months and runs down the floor after losing her starting spot to Lexi Hull. Runs down the floor and calls Lexi Hull a bomb to her face. DeWanna Bonner is out here calling Lexi Hull a bomb to her face.
After the game, Bonner spoke to the press about her journey to get back to being happy playing basketball again, suggesting her time in Indiana had stripped her of her joy. She framed her performance as a triumphant return to form, an emotional release.
You know, it was, yeah, I don't know, emotions are kind of high. Honestly, it's just been a journey to get back to just being happy playing basketball again. Yeah, I'm just, the joy, trying to find that. For a minute, basketball was kind of like off the radar for me a little bit. I didn't know if I loved it anymore. Like, I had a long conversation with Alyssa, so just to feel that again,
But
feel
watching
that
her
energy,
on-court
feel this
antics,
from that building
the comments
was just
felt
amazing.
hollow.
And,
This
I
didn't
feel
look
it
like
was a game
someone
that I needed
rediscovering
to,
their love for the game.
you know,
It
remind
looked
me,
like
like, I
someone
love this.
settling. A score with an attitude that bordered on petty. A stark contrast to the professional image she was trying to project. For weeks.
Look at Bonner. And Cunningham's kind of got that innocent who me grin going, and nobody's buying it.
Wow, what a steal by Bonner, stepping
Big time.
right into it. And Sophie knows that doesn't want to create anything more. A little holding on. You think this is becoming a rivalry?
Oh, they're letting her have it now. They gave Cunningham a big ovation before.
The story of Bonner's exit from Indiana was shrouded in mystery, with the team citing personal reasons for her departure after just 9 games. But the truth, it turns out, was far more shocking and disrespectful than anyone imagined. On her podcast, Show Me Something, Sophie Cunningham finally dropped the bombshell that exposed everything.
For sure. I mean, it sucks, right? You don't ever want to see anyone be injured on any team. I feel like there's been a lot of injuries this year in the W, harsh ones, I think. And, it's just another one. And Sid is still the heartbeat of our team. She's going to be okay. Our team's going to be okay. And again, it's just another hurdle that we're going to have to get over.
Revealed that DeWanna Bonner didn't just leave the team. She ghosted them. There was no explanation, no team meeting, and not even a simple text message to the teammates she had battled with. Sophie explained, with a tone of clear disappointment, "I'm still rooting for her. But I also think that it's okay to be professional about it and send a text to your teammates."
But Sophie Cunningham was about to drop some truth bombs that would put this entire situation in perfect perspective.
Did you see that when DB came back and played for us, that they got mad that our fan base was booing her?
I don't believe in booing former players unless they left on like some F you type shit.
Like, "Hey, sorry this didn't work out. Good luck." The revelation painted a stunning picture of a veteran player who simply vanished, showing a complete lack of respect for the women in her locker room. That
I like DB because like DB was one of my vets when I was in Phoenix, and then we gathered here into Indiana, and like it was kind of a surprise that she was signed to Indiana anyway, and so we'll take her in a heartbeat. Like she's a Hall of Famer, she's a hell of a basketball player, can score from anywhere on the court, but she got to Indiana and she just like really wasn't happy, and like I want people to be happy, so that's why I'm kind of like neutral on this one, which a lot of people are surprised about. She's towards the end of her career, so like she deserves her flowers, she deserves to be happy, but I also think that if you're gonna leave, like, you're going to have to expect getting booed.
stunning lack of professionalism created a clear dividing line between two different cultures. On one side, you had Dawana Bonner celebrating a personal victory, taunting younger players and basking in the glow of her revenge game. On the other, like,
Was there explanation when it happened? No. Not even privately? Yeah, I mean, okay. That's tough. And, yeah, okay. Well, I did say what? Unless you leave on some fuck you type shit, and that's what that is, so.
Like, I'm still rooting for her. Like, I want her to end her career and be happy, but I also think that, like, it's okay to be professional about it and, like, send a text to your teammates. Send a text and be like, hey, like, love you guys. Or you don't even have to say love you guys. Just like, hey, sorry this didn't work out. Good luck. Da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? Like, there's a way to handle that, I think.
you had the Indiana fever. Even in a crushing defeat, their focus was on each other. You saw players rallying around Colson and McDonald, their concern for their teammates overriding any frustration about the score. You saw Lexi Hull, a young player, refusing to be intimidated by a decorated veteran. While Bonner was focused on herself, the fever, even in their darkest moment, showed what a team-first mentality truly looks like.
I doubt Dawana Bonner had any idea that how dirty she did her teammates on her way out of Indiana would ever come out to light. But Sophie Cunningham said, hold my beer. I got a podcast. I got this platform. I'm going to speak my mind. I'm not going to toe the company line. I'm not going to protect narratives. I'm not going to follow agendas. I'm going to tell you how it all went down. And Dawana Bonner disappeared like a ghost.
A brutal loss to Phoenix, compounded by devastating injuries, will sting for a long time. But it also exposed a fundamental truth about the Indiana fever. It revealed...
Rim it out. Cunningham picks up the board. Here she comes. Sophie steps into the three.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Is loving being in Indianapolis. She loves this team. She's feeling it on these...
Cunningham hesitates. Ball on the deck. Sweet dish inside for Timpson.
That their foundation is not built on players who quit when things get difficult. Sophie Cunningham's honesty proved that the team's best move may have been losing the wrong player. While Bonner celebrated one win against an undermanned squad, the Fever's loyal core was tested by fire and stood together. That
Phoenix doing a nice job on the boards. We talked about that, leading by 10.
Wow.
7-17.
You look at all the stats that you love as Cunningham buries,
Staying hot.
buries another triple.
It's a tough call, and here's going to see the shot by the three-pointer against Copper.
Sabley, top shot. Wasn't square, and here comes Indiana. Cunningham, another three. Oh my goodness, Sophie Cunningham!
difference, in character, that loyalty forged through adversity, is the kind of fuel that championship runs are made of. This disaster may have exposed their vulnerabilities, but it also revealed their heart, setting the stage for something much bigger when their true leaders return.